Hello, we're back again, but this time we're not in Haarlem, we're actually, you might be able to see, it's a canal. Therefore we are actually in Amsterdam and it's cold.
It is
I've
absolutely
even been out and bought an extra hat because it's quite cold. I was going to do a quick panorama actually while we're, the sun, yeah, you stay there, the sun's still out, there's lots of bikes and there's people around, but there's sort of bisecting canals all over the place. And right, kind of quick sort of hold 360. Once again, yeah, there are lots of bikes here, and there's thousands. We actually like that, don't we? Because especially we were in Haarlem this morning, and it's so much quieter. Even here,
lovely.
You get outside of the main roads, and because it's just bikes, it's just a lot quieter generally. There's a few little motor scooters as you can probably hear going along here, but otherwise it's just a tinkling of bike bells, and that's. But you do take your life in your own hands. How many people get knocked over by them? I don't know. Anyway, so what have we done today? We've done a lot of walking so far, haven't we?
We've done a lot of walking. I'm going to say we've probably done about 7 miles.
I wouldn't like to say, but it probably isn't too far off from that actually. Hang on, let these people go past. So that's
tourists.
What's that about? Yeah. You can't have that doing that sort of thing, can we?
But we had an interesting morning, didn't we? Just for you. We went to see one of the top 10 things to do in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Guess what that was?
Was it one of the cafes, coffee shops? No.
No.
Wouldn't happen to be in a red light district, would
I
it?
think it might.
Well, you can't really avoid that because that's actually where Amsterdam sort of originated. And I did a little bit of history actually. That Amsterdam as a city was sort of created in about 1200 thereabouts when a bunch of fishermen, they were herring fishermen, I think they put a dam across the Amstel River, hence Amsterdam, and also Amstel beer. Just thought I'd throw that in. And the city sort of grew from that particular area, and the canals there are actually smaller than this, aren't they? They get bigger, probably because they're more navigable the further you go along, but the bridges are everywhere. So that's why the red light district is where it is, because it's right in the heart of the old town. But it's quite a surreal experience to go around that area. I must admit, it did get a bit disappointing because everywhere was shut. There was no one sitting in the windows at all. They must have known I was coming, that you were going to sort of stop me looking at anyone.
I found a head.
But as it happened, we did go around a few corners and did explore a little bit. And
Had
sure
a couple
enough,
of treats,
there were a few nice young ladies sitting in windows, but I got dragged away very, very quickly. But it is, as I said, it is quite a surreal experience. It's one of those things, you come to a place like this and you have to indulge to an extent.
Did you?
Okay, I rephrase that. Look but don't touch.
You don't
sort of
have
thing.
to.
No. Anyway, we'll move swiftly on, and also there's all the coffee shops, which are the cannabis cafes. And I must say that the walking around here, it's like being on sitting in the seafront.
Yes,
there's marijuana in the air everywhere, and obviously the cafes. Some guy was trying to entice me into one of them because I mean they're very well regulated. You have to show your passport and all that. Not that I did, because we didn't go in. We did go into a shop and I did buy a little muffin thing, didn't I? Anyway, we'll gloss over that. But no, an interesting city. But there are other tacky areas, of course, as there are with any major cities. There's bits that look like, Leicester Square
really
touristy, and Soho-y area, obviously. But you get away from it, and as you can hear, this is in the heart of Amsterdam, and it is pretty quiet.
It's beautiful.
And it is quite, and it is. I mean, in the building, if I come around, actually, the building's over here. I don't know if you can see them, just over here. A lot of them, they actually sort of stick out and they sort of almost lean over, and if you've been in one of those cafes or you've been partaking of the local brews or something like that, you'd think, hang on a minute, am I drunk? But they do that for a reason. Can you remember what the reason was? Because you told me. They lean over towards the canals.
Yes, the houses are very tall and very narrow, so mostly it was done so that they could get furniture up to the top floors. And we've noticed some big hooks as well at the top of the building, so some things supplies.
They literally sort of winched furniture or probably goods and things like that as well from the canals or from the roads or boats up into the building. So you're not drunk if you come along and think, hang on a minute, those buildings are leaning over.
But they do lean with age as well, don't they? Some of them are 1600s.
But some of them are so small, tiny little buildings as well. But this afternoon we've wandered right down to the other part of the main part of the city, and where have we just been?
Van Gogh Museum.
The Van Gogh Museum, one of those places you want to go to. And if you do go, I would suggest that you start at the top, which is the later part of Van Gogh's life, and then work down, because you do get a bit Van Gogh and museumed out. With the best will in the world, it doesn't matter who the artist is or whatever, if you've been in the museum for a couple of hours, your feet start taking a toll. So you glaze over a little bit when you shouldn't be, and that's the part that everyone wants to see. I mean, you appreciate the art more than I do, although I do find Van Gogh quite a fascinating character, and some of the paintings are absolutely stunning, and the brushwork, you can see how get up close to it and everything, the colours and
stand up close, yeah,
and the
really
depth of the sort of paint that's on the canvases as well is quite amazing. But you loved that, didn't you?
I did. I sometimes get told off in exhibitions like that for standing too close, because it's so fascinating.
Yeah.
To think that you're standing where the artist stood when he did the painting.
Yeah, which is a very good point actually. Yeah. So that's great. And my hand is absolutely freezing. So and we've done a lot of walking, but it's been great. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But I must say, Haarlem is lovely. It's like Amsterdam in miniature, but even quieter. But I'm sure we'll be talking about that on another day. We're heading back there shortly. We're going to have a little bit of a rest. And tomorrow we're back into Amsterdam as well. It's only like a 10-minute train ride away, so it's not very far at all. But it is nice to be there, out of the city in a way, isn't it?
Yes,
get the contrast between the sort of different ways of Dutch life in a way, the city life and the town life as well. So anyway, so we're back here tomorrow because we're off to the Anne Frank Museum, or the Anne Frank House tomorrow. And more walking, more canals, more bicycles.
Bye.
So we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.